Jason Rzucidlo reporting for AmericaJR.com, and I'm being joined by Phil Bockhorn, the Senior Manager of Shows and Events for the Chrysler Group. First off, what does Chrysler have planned for the LA Auto Show?
Well, we've got it's treated as one of our four major shows. It gets over 1 million attendees, so it's our A game. And we take the best available products from all of our brands, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. We even have a lineup including SRT, and our Mopar division also takes several of their vehicles that were recently unveiled at the SEMA show. So it's a full lineup. We have everything for everybody at LA.
Okay. Now, can you discuss the number of concept cars or their names?
Well, we don't do traditional concept cars per se, but we focus on customizing and accessorizing vehicles that are available for sale or will be in the very near future. And primarily those are focused in our SRT and Mopar areas. So we do have several of those. Are you familiar with our lineup from the SEMA show? Did you see any of those?
No, I didn't make it over there.
Okay. Well, it has, literally we have one for each brand, and they're all what we call Moparized or accessorized. The Wrangler, for instance, is given a nickname of the Sand Trooper, and it's got a lot of equipment that, as the name implies, would suggest an off-road, but more of a desert theme with a dune exterior color and some custom leather seats that go along with it. And that's generally the approach that we take. The Mopar Charger version is called Juiced, and it's in an orange, it's called Copperhead color, and it's got a V10 engine in it. And the Ram, we have an Express version there that's been customized, so it runs the gamut. We also even have a Challenger coming from that's owned by Jeff Dunham. Not sure if you're familiar with him or not, the comedian.
Yeah.
And he's got a customized and SRT package and everything, so that'll be out there as well. It's really the nice thing about LA being a car market like that, they appreciate all of the accessorized versions of our products. And in our particular lineup, we're fortunate enough to have vehicles that lend themselves well to that.
Okay. Now, what will be some of the new production models among the Chrysler brands?
Well, you want the feature vehicles in each brand, or you just want a rundown? I mean, we have, in total, it's almost 60 vehicles on the floor, but I can give you the highlight vehicles in each brand if you'd like that.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Okay.
Well, starting with the Fiat brand, and that's always a big draw in LA. We're going to have a couple of reveals out there, and I can't really, I'm not at liberty to tell you those exactly now, but in addition to that, we'll have a Sport Turbo and several versions of the Fiat Abarth, the sports package, if you will, or sport equipment on the Fiat. That's going to be a huge draw in LA, and there's going to be another version of the Abarth that I think people will really appreciate when they get out there. But that is front and center in our display space out there because of the LA market itself and the appeal that brand has in that particular area. And then in the Chrysler area, we have two Varvatos versions of the 300, and those are being done in conjunction with John Varvatos, the designer, and have several features that he's actually spec'd out: the leather, the trim. There's a unique shifter knob that features his signature design trademark, which is metal rivets, and it's covered in those. So it's got a lot of cues that anyone familiar with the design or fashion industry will recognize as Varvatos trademarks. So that'll stand out in the Chrysler brand area. And then in moving on, then just going around the horn on our brands here, we've got the Jeep. One of the feature vehicles there that's always at the top of the list of vehicle of interest for attendees is the Wrangler, year in and year out. And this year we have a 10th anniversary edition of the Wrangler. So again, LA being the market that it is, that's an important vehicle for us out there. And it's We have several Wranglers online on the floor, but this one in particular is a 10th anniversary edition of. It's a Sahara version, but it's a 10th anniversary edition.
Okay. Did you already mention Dodge and Ram?
Well, Dodge is really going to be a great setup for us because, as you know, the all-new Dart that's been just recently launched and is really hitting its stride in the marketplace now. LA is the first major show where we have production really reaching capacity, and we're going to have 4 different versions of the Dart out there. We've got the Limited, we've got the RT, and we've got the Rally, and then to top it all off, we've got the actual rally, World Rallycross car that Travis Pastrana drives, and it's going to be on display out there too. So you can imagine the lineup we'll have just to see that car on display. And we've got a few handouts for people that are interested in that particular vehicle, but that's going to be a huge draw for us. No matter what market we put Travis and his car in, it's always a draw, but LA is kind of his backyard, so we expect big crowds around all the Dart versions, but the Rallycross car in particular.
Now, is he going to be appearing in person?
Can't say officially, but if you go to LA, you might not be disappointed.
Okay.
On the Ram side, the big news there, we've just almost completely revamped the entire Ram lineup over the last 12 months. But we think the star of the LA show is going to be the 2500 Power Wagon that's going to be on display, and that literally it's factory equipment, but it looks like something that you would spend a large amount of money on to equip that way. But it's essentially factory equipment, stock, off the line, and it looks like $1 million. But that's going to be the hit of the show out there. It's painted flat black. It's got black and decent gray interior, leather seats. An awesome looking truck.
Now, how will that be different from the F-150 or the Chevy Silverado?
Well, it's primarily on the exterior cues. The equipment that it has, the powertrain has been enhanced a little bit, but the exterior styling cues and just little treatments, everything from wheels to cladding, and a little bit on the interior as well. But it really it hasn't lost any of the capability. It's just dressed up a little bit more. Okay.
Now, can we expect the Chrysler brands to be the same size as last year in terms of the displays?
Yep. Yeah, our footprint, our floor space is the same as last year. We kind of move the brands around different locations each year depending on who has the most press coverage and reveals on press day. And this year that's Fiat, so they're front and center. And then the rest of the brands are arranged around that, but it's the same size as last year's space. It's an important show for us, so we have a big presence there.
Okay. What can the media look forward to on press days?
Well, I mean, I think Fiat is the big story. We can't tell you exactly what's going to be revealed, but as to what the media should look for on press day, you definitely want to be in the Fiat stand.
Okay. Can we expect any celebrities to be on stage? Maybe Jay Leno or somebody?
No, we don't. In this particular case, by design, I think Fiat is avoiding celebrities on stage on press day as part of the press event. But, the following that brand has, and who knows who will turn up on press days, but not officially part of the press conference.
Okay. Now, what can people expect on the public days when they come to the show?
Well, I think in general you can expect to see a lot of activity within the Fiat stand, not only because of the couple of new products, 2 or 3 new products that will be revealed there, but also just in general we have a lot of interactive stations for attendees. You can customize your own photo in the Fiat stand, choose your backdrop, background, send it out right away to your friends. That carries over into the other brands as well. There's photo ops stations there that you can go immediately online with and send out and post. You'll have tons of product specialists and narrators there to help answer questions. All of our vehicles, except for the reveal turntable vehicles, will be accessible. That's a big plus for us. and I think you'll have a sizable number of people wanting to get as close as possible to the all-new Viper. This is its first major show since entering production, and that's going to be very close to the front corner of our display too. So that'll be a big draw as well.
Now the new Viper, is that a 2014 model?
It is.
Okay. Now, are you saying there will be more interactive activities than last year, or about the same?
No, there will be more interactive stations this year than last year. We've increased that just to address the demands of all the attendees and make sure that they're all with a purpose. It's not just designed to get them to stay in our space, but they're all with a purpose. They help build affinity to the brand. They help build product awareness of some of the unique features that we offer within each brand area. And also, I think it's a way to appeal to a broader audience. It's not just the adults necessarily, but it's for all of the family in most of the cases. And yet at the same time, it never ignores the fact that we know that 50% of all auto show attendees are in the market within the next 12 months. So we want to be focused on our delivery of messages and information. And so it's interactivity with a purpose. Okay.
Now, how many Chrysler vehicles are going to be participating in the ride and drive outside?
We have 12 ride and drive vehicles outside, and they are representative of all of the brands. But also mention that in this year's lineup, almost I want to say it's 25 to 30% of our entire lineup will feature vehicles that get 30 miles per gallon or better. So again, for LA, that's a big deal, and we want to make sure that we're not only known for performance and accessorization, but fuel economy as well. So that's a little bit different emphasis for us this year too. But we really think it'll draw a crowd in LA just to see those vehicles.
Any final comments you would like to mention about the LA Auto Show?
Oh, well, I think that, I think in the show in general, it's just we can't underscore enough how important the LA Auto Show is to our entire circuit. It's one of the four majors, and with over 1 million attendees and year in and year out, it gives a little unique approach to what vehicles we bring and how we approach it. But it's definitely, as I said, one of our top priorities for the season. We treat it with the utmost respect, and we're expecting big things this year. We really think we've got a lineup that's right in stride with what the LA attendees expect to see and want to see.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks for joining me here today.
Absolutely.
Copyright 2012, AmericaJR.com, Los Angeles, California.